Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at a brand new Pokemon in the world of Pokemon Go, TREVENANT. Now TREVENANT is a ghost and grass type Pokemon with the moveset of Shadow Claw, Seed Bomb, and Shadow Ball. TREVENANT is being released with part 2 of the Halloween event, so if that's available in your part of the world, you can find it in the wild, or if it hasn't started in your part of the world quite yet, you can do what I did and get it in a remote raid. Now, I'll be honest, guys, TREVENANT is absolutely incredible. This Pokemon is going to be a must-have for the Great League and for the Ultra League. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and let's take a look at TREVENANT in action. Alright, hopping into the first match, we have TREVENANT into Cofagrigus. Now, one thing that I do like about TREVENANT is it is very spammy. It is an attack-weighted Pokemon, so unfortunately, it's not the tankiest in the Great League, but it hits very, very hard, and it gets to its charge moves very quickly. We are going to shield up the Dark Pulse, and the opponent brings in a Lapras, but we have our Seed Bomb ready. Seed Bomb lands and does over half to the Shadow Lapras, and now we're going to be able to bring in the Vigoroth and farm all the way down. We don't have to respect that Surf. We can farm all the way down and leave with some energy on the Vigoroth. In comes the Cofagrigus, and we are going to be going for the Bulldoze. Bulldoze, pretty bad move, does not KO here, but does get it pretty low, and they are going to be forced to throw to take us out here. They do go for the Dark Pulse. From here, I'm just going to bring in the Obstagoon to farm down, and the opponent concedes the match, so my guess is they were probably running Caleb Peng's new line with Bastiodon in the back. Alright, hopping into the next match. Not the best lead. We have TREVENANT into Altaria, but as you can see, we charge so quickly. Shadow Claw, Shadow Ball is an incredible combination. We're going for the hard-hitting Shadow Ball. We get the shield, and now we safe switch into Vigoroth, and we're going to bait out Azumarill. Now, this is not a great matchup for Vigoroth, but since we do have a slight energy lead, we should be able to get it low enough where it's in farm down range for TREVENANT. And the nice thing there is bubbles really aren't going to do a whole lot to TREVENANT, so if we can farm it down, then we're going to be able to leave with a Shadow Ball to threaten the Altaria again. Ice Beam comes through, we survive that, we're not too worried about that, and we're going to be going for another Body Slam, and this will be getting them very low, and they're going to have to throw here, otherwise I would be able to take switch advantage, but this is perfect farm down range for TREVENANT. This is part of why I like having TREVENANT on the lead, because you can farm down, we don't take a lot of damage from bubbles, and we leave with the Shadow Ball loaded. Now this is going to be hitting Altaria hard, the Shadow Ball does a ton of damage, and it's a CMP tie, so I'm actually going to trust in Obstagoon here. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to trust in Obstagoon, because oftentimes when you see Altaria lead, as you save switch, there's a Steel type in the back, so I'm going to save 2 shields for Obstagoon. And the fact that they shield there tells me it's probably a Steel type in the back. They go for the Sky Attack, they're staying in, I'm just going to go for the farm down. We're able to farm down what is in the back, and it's a Steel type. It is a Registeel, and since we have an absolutely massive energy lead and cross chop, we should be able to comfortably take this match, as we are going to be able to get to this second cross chop, and we're already part of the way to a third, and at this point, the opponent recognizes the situation and concedes the match. Alright, hopping into the next match, we have TREVENANT into Bronzong. Now, pretty nice lead for us. They safe switch into Sableye, and I'm actually going to chip with the Seed Bomb here before I do bring in the Obstagoon, so that way it should be very close to Night Slash range. We bring in the Obstagoon, we are going to be able to get off this Night Slash. Night Slash does get it very low. Unfortunately, they still do get to a move on the Sableye. That return hurts, but we can survive it. They're probably unlikely to bring the Bronzong into this matchup, so we'll have to see what they have in the back, and they have Scrafty. So Scrafty is a definite issue for this team, so pretty rough to see. We do sneak a counter through with Vigoroth, but yeah, that is unfortunate to have Scrafty in the back. They switch into Bronzong, and I make a pretty big mistake. I farm up instead of just switching. I should have switched right away, because now I'm really far behind on energy. I'm going to have to shield this up, and I'm hoping that they're going to no shield here. So I am going to throw the Shadow Ball, we get the shield, that's unfortunate, and they're able to farm down. So things are not looking great for me. I probably should have baited so I could try and force the second shield, because we do win CMP over Vigoroth. Sorry, Vigoroth wins CMP over Bronzong, but since they still had a shield, they're able to shield up and take me out. So that was a very winnable game. Unfortunately, just misplays by me caused that to end up being a loss. Alright, hopping into the next match, we have Trevenant into Bastiodon. Now, Trevenant does not have the greatest Bastiodon matchup, just because Trevenant isn't the tankiest Mon, but I have 2 counter users in the back, which can definitely handle Bastiodon, so we are going to save switch out, and we bait out the Azumarill. Very nice to see the Azumarill here, so that way our Obstagoon will not have to face it. We are able to land the Body Slam there, and I'm willing to let this go. It's a Play Rough, that works for me. Because Play Rough is not going to be able to take us out, and they could farm us down, but they're going to have to shield if they want to do that. We're able to get them very low, and they decide to throw. Now here, I actually am going to shield this up because I was like, you know what? I can win switch advantage, and the opponent recognizes that I could win switch advantage, and they switch in Sableye. And again, I make a misplay there. I should have just instantly switched into Trevenant, but instead I farmed up on Vigoroth, so definitely a misplay by me there. As you can see, learning pains with the new Mon. Trevenant, if it falls behind on energy, it can get a little rough. Now the Sableye will be able to farm down, which is unfortunate, but we did get the shield with the Bulldoze, and now it's all up to Obstagoon. Tough call to make. They do throw the return, so I'm just going to throw at a weird time here, and they manage to catch. Incredible play by my opponent. They're able to catch the Night Slash, and things are looking dire. I do farm down, my shields are down, but my opponent comes in Bastiodon. A pretty big misplay by my opponent there. They definitely should have come back into the Sableye, as now I can throw a Cross Chop, tank one move, and I should be able to farm down and leave with back-to-back Night Slashes, and the opposing Sableye is still short of a move, and Obstagoon able to farm down, and despite some pretty serious misplays on my part, we are going to be able to clutch out the win with the back-to-back Night Slashes. Obstagoon absolutely carrying after I misplayed, and that is a good game. Alright, hopping into the next match against another current legend. Trevenant into Swampert, incredible lead. They're going to save switch into Drapion, and I'm going to counter switch into Obstagoon. Now, Drapions I've found are pretty unlikely to bait on the first moves, and I'm planning on shielding at least one, so I am going to shield the first move here, and it's the Sludge Bomb. So we are able to correctly shield, which is massive, because once they land one Sludge Bomb, then that's prime opportunity for them to go for a bait, but we decide not to let that happen. We're just going to overfarm, go for the Night Slash, we're fishing for the boost, and with the resisted damage, that should be taking out the Drapion. I'm expecting them to come back in with the Swampert, since Swampert isn't the most helpful with Trevenant in play, but they actually bring in Skarmory. This is perfect for me, as I'm going to be able to get damage off on the Skarmory, which I desperately need to do. And Obstagoon able to get to another Night Slash. Now, they don't have to shield this if they don't want to, but this is getting pretty low now. So we're able to get them very low, and now we're just going to bring in the Vigoroth and basically just tank the Brave Bird, and we're going to save the shield for Trevenant. Now, in comes the Trevenant as they bring in the Swampert, and we are just going to start spamming out these Seed Bombs. The Seed Bombs, thanks to Shadow Claw, charge so quickly here. We're already at a second one, and since we're a Ghost Grass, we actually don't take super effective from the poison moves, which is very, very nice. We're only going to be taking neutral. Going for another Seed Bomb. As you can see, the Hydro Cannons do add up. Trevenant is pretty glassy, but it outputs a ton of damage. We're able to shield it up, and we are able to get to the third Seed Bomb. This is going to be taking out the Swampert. They still have Skarmory in the back. We're going to farm, switch into the Vigoroth to force them to use their energy on the Vigoroth, and from here, they should be in a range where one Shadow Claw from Trevenant does take them out, and that is a good game. So again, Trevenant clutching in the end game. Hopping into the next match, and we have a Nidoqueen on the lead. And Nidoqueen is not a particularly comfortable matchup for Trevenant, just because unfortunately, it does take neutral from poison, so the Poison Fangs really add up, and the opponent does a very nice catch. They are able to catch the Seed Bomb onto their Sableye, but we have a very nice response to Sableye. We do have the Obstagoon, and now that we've chipped it with a Seed Bomb, it's in a range where 2 Night Slashes or a Night Slash plus a lot of farm should be more than enough to take it out. We are going to let this go. Return hurts, but we do survive it. And now we're just going to farm, and we're able to farm down. That's huge. We lead with energy to threaten the Nidoqueen if it does come in. We've seen a Nidoqueen and a Dark type, so what's in back? Another Dark type. That's just how it works. They bring in the Mandibuzz. We go for the Cross Chop. They quick swap back into the Nidoqueen, hoping to catch a second cross chop, but we saw the switch, and we're going to be going for the Night Slash. Now we bring in Trevenant, and we're going to be throwing the Seed Bomb and trying to force that shield. We do force the shield, and it's a CMP tie. That is so nice. That's another nice thing about Trevenant. With a fairly high attack stat, it wins a decent amount of CMPs. Now, the opponent does undercharge there. Very, very nice play. And I'm going to wait my switch clock because they are going to be able to Poison Fang me, and I want to be able to switch out to reset that debuff. Poison Fang doesn't hurt Vigoroth too much. I can tank it, and they're going to switch into the Mandibuzz. Now that Nidoqueen is basically just in farm down range, so I am going to be going for the Body Slam. We're going to switch into the Obstagoon because it's a Snarl Mandibuzz. They're going to have a tough time farming us down. Or if they try to, we're going to get off a lot of damage. And the opponent recognizes that's a brutal farm down, and they're forced to throw energy. So we are in a really good spot. We've saved our shields for Vigoroth. We are hitting them for neutral with the counters, and we're able to spam out these Body Slams, which do a lot of damage. And we are going to throw in the middle of the Snarl just so they can't pull any kind of sacrificial swap. Body Slam does get the shield, and from here we can just shield and farm down. And when they bring in the Nidoqueen, we can just throw that Body Slam. So at this point, this game is over. They bring in the Nidoqueen, we go for the Body Slam, and from here, we can just counter down the Mandibuzz before they reach the move. Mandibuzz, counter down, and that is a good game. All right, hopping into the next match. We have Trevenant into Registeel. I'll be honest, I just got a little scared, so I switched out more than anything. Trevenant actually doesn't have a terrible Registeel matchup because Shadow Claw, Shadow Ball does add up, but I did want to check and see if they had any responses to counter users, especially if they're leading Registeel. They probably have a good response to a counter user, but they farm up a ton of energy on the Registeel and switch into the Azumarill. Now, the nice thing about that is they've given my Vigoroth an absolutely massive energy lead, so I will be able to force a shield in this situation. I'm not really going to want to shield myself, because if I line up the Obstagoon against the Registeel endgame, I'm going to need those shields to prevent me from being one-shot with a Focus Blast. We do get the shield, which is very nice, and I'm going to farm up and throw the Body Slam right before they get to the move. A Body Slam does get them very low, and unfortunately we just can't reach the next one before they throw. They do get themselves very low. We're going to bring in the Trevenant and farm down. We'll have to see what they have in the back. Are they bringing back in the Registeel? And they have Diggersby in the back. So Diggersby, a normal type, they are definitely resisting the Shadow Claw and Shadow Ball, but we have Seed Bomb, and Seed Bomb hits hard, even against a tanky Diggersby. Although, unfortunately, as I mentioned, we are fairly glassy. So Fire Punch hurts quite a bit. We are going to be going for the second Seed Bomb. I missed some bubbles there, and we intentionally throw on the CMP tie, just so that way they don't get any extra farm. And now it's all up to Obstagoon. They bring in the Registeel, and we're going to be going for the Cross Chop here. This is why Cross Chop is very nice as a finishing move. We're able to land the Cross Chop. They're going for the move, and at this point, since we landed it, we can double shield and farm down, and they're not going to be able to win. And they top left mid charge move, so good game there. All right, hopping into the next match. Rough lead, Trevenant into Abomasnow. We save switch into the Vigoroth, and they're actually going to soften us up with a Weather Ball before they switch out, so they may not have a great response in the back to a Vigoroth, and they come in with Sableye, and it all makes sense. Because Sableye versus a full health Vigoroth can definitely struggle, but if you can get some chip damage on it, then after some Shadow Claws, I should be in foul play range. So very nice awareness there by my opponent. But at this point, I have seen the Abomasnow lead Sableye safe swap quite a bit, and there's typically a water type in the back. So I'm thinking, now that I have shield advantage, I should probably trust in Trevenant up shields to close this match for me. So I actually come in with the Obstagoon. We are going to tank the move, and we're going to overfarm as much as we dare and go for the Night Slash, because we are definitely expecting a water type in the back, and we get the boost. That's so nice, and it is a water type in the back. It's not Azumarill, but it's Swampert. We're going for the Night Slash. This will be doing massive damage, and we get another boost. Oh, this is so big. I'm actually changing my mind. I'm going to shield up. We're going to farm down, and we should be able to get to a boosted move against their Abomasnow. This will get the shield, and now I can switch in Trevenant, and we're going to be able to win the race. We'll get to our Shadow Ball before they get to their 2 Weather Balls. We are going to shield this up, and all we have to do is under tap here, which we do. The Powder Snow goes through, but that doesn't matter. Trevenant able to close strong, take out the Abomasnow, and that is a good game. So all in all, I had a blast running Trevenant. I went 7-3 with it, and I believe in all 3 of those matches, I made absolutely huge mistakes. So every one of those 10 games was winnable. Trevenant is instantly a part of the Great League meta, and I would imagine even when it's bulkier in the Ultra League, it's going to be a powerhouse there as well. So you should definitely try and catch some Phantoms and evolve it into Trevenant for Great League, and more than likely for Ultra as well. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.